Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mostly Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. As you guys know, I always try to review what's in the top 10 on Netflix. And last month, I missed a few movies because I was doing the whole horror theme. But I will be getting to a couple of movies. They are no longer trending now, but they were a couple of weeks ago. But in today's episode, I'm taking a look at the number 3 trending movie, as of this podcast anyway. Now, number 1 was an animated movie, and number 2 was still in that thriller bag. So I decided to give you guys a break from that and get into something different, which is why I landed on number 3, which is called The Takeover. It's a not Danish, but it's a Dutch movie, and there is a dub. And is listed as a crime, drama, action movie. So let's get into it. What is this one about? Well, we start out with this hacker who was called to a military base to figure out why their system shut down every day and they have no control. He figures it out, and it leads him to this 16-year-old girl who has a talent for, hacking. It ended up being a more friendly exchange than expected, spoiler free. Then we jump to 10 years later, and the little girl is now working. She's a big girl now. She's a woman, and she's working for this tech company to make sure their systems are running on this new project. There's this self-driving bus thing that they're doing. Now, while checking into the system, she finds that someone has created like a backdoor access to funnel out information, but she doesn't have time to really get rid of it, so she uses a Trojan horse to shut it down. Now, in her spare time, she has this crew that she hacks with, and they break into corporate accounts, rich people, businesses, and basically punishes them if they're doing the wrong thing. So she does one of these jobs, and everything's all good. Then she wakes up in the middle of the night in her apartment, and someone's broken in, and they have a picture of her. Spoiler free, she manages to escape. However, these are some serious guys, and they set her up for murder and demand that she get rid of the block she put in their system so they can get back onto business. And that's where I'll stop. From there, she's on the run from the cops and trying to figure out who set her up, but she may need some help from an old friend to figure this one out. So what did the pros think? Well, currently there is not a consensus because there's no reviews from the professional critics on Rotten right now. However, there were less than 50 ratings from the audience, and it's at a 43% right now. And what did I think? Well, let's start with the positives. I thought the pacing was really good here. They went from giving us the background of who she was to the main plot in less than 30 minutes, which is ideal for a runtime of a little less than 90 minutes. I mean, that's pretty perfect. The mystery surrounding what's going on was set up pretty good. They want you to think one thing when it's another. Then, spoiler free, the help she needs from a past friend was a nice callback to the origin of her character. And again, the pacing continued throughout the movie nicely right up to the very end. You never really have time to get bored with any more section of it because they're moving on to the next thing. However, that's where my negative starts. While it's not boring, it's not all that exciting either. I never really felt like the stakes were all that high. Then they had this annoying male character that's kind of just along for the ride that doesn't really know anything. And his acting, but then again, everyone's acting here is pretty suspect, except for the police officer. And I've seen him in several foreign movies before, and, he's been fine. But like I said, he didn't have a very good big part in this movie. But I've seen him in other things, and he's been pretty good. But all the main characters that had big parts were, their acting was a little flaky. And they really lacked a threatening bad guy. That's what this one was really missing. I think he could have been. The actor was fine in what they gave him to do, but I just don't think they gave him enough parts in the movie to be really, that threatening guy that we needed him to do. And on a side note, they kept doing this really cheesy computer graphic thing when she's hacking to show in her mind she's seeing things and she's working, and it's this special effect they use is like better than like, it's like barely better than like the original Tron movies. And it really wasn't needed. I didn't really see the point in that. I mean, we get it. She's gifted and she sees things differently from everyone else. But it made it feel even more like a made for cable type movie. But I don't want to beat this one up too much. Let me bottom line this one for you. Did I enjoy it? I'm going to say no. I put this one right at a 50% on the Rotten scale. Again, it's not bad. The pacing was good. The plot was fine. But they do telegraph super early what's going on. The bad guy was less than imposing, and the climax was a bit underwhelming. Picture a really low-stakes version of Speed with an out-of-control bus. But you could do worse. Just know that this brings nothing new to the genre, and it lacks any real thrills or action for that case. So yeah, watch it and let me know if you think I'm off on this one. Or watch one of the many other great action crime movies that I've done a podcast on, or feel free to scroll through and check the back catalog. I mean, I didn't even realize I have a couple of 100 episodes in the can, a couple 100 movies that you guys can actually scroll back and check out and see, find something that you might like or find something to stay away from. Either way, I'm here providing a service for you. With that being said, I'll close it out right here. If this is your first time, don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production, mostly low-budget movie reviews with Clarence. That's the name. I'm up on all streaming platforms, wherever you listen to your music or podcasts. You can find me there. And yeah, I'll be back again this weekend with another movie. Not quite sure what kind of movie I'm going to do yet. I might end up doing another thriller, because that is the number 2 movie. So I might check that out, or I might find something else. We will see. But yeah, anyway, thanks again for the support. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.